Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Vardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Vardhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jana Vallabha Giri Vardhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Gaur Premanandi Hari Vadivo Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Paribrajakacharya Ashtotra Satasri Shimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sekaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Mathura Dham Ki Jai Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Gangamai Jamuna Mai Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Tulasi Maharani ki jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bo. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga and Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 72, starting at text 27, and I'm going to go to 30. Hello to everyone who is online. Ityudara mati praha Krishna Arjuna Vridaran Krishna Arjuna Vrikodaran He Vipra Vijayatam Kamo Dadam Yatma Suropiva Ityudara mati praha Krishna Arjuna Vrikodaran He Vipravriyatam Kamo Dadam Yatma Suropiva Ityudaramati Praha Krishna Arjuna Vrikodaran He Vipravriyatam Kamo Dadam Yatma Siropiva Ityudaramati Praha Krishna Arjuna Vrikodaran He Vipravriyatam Kamo Dadam Yatma Suropiva Ityudaramati Praha Krishna Arjuna Vrikodaran He Vipravriyatam Kamo Dadam Yatma Suropiva Iti thus Udara generous Mati whose mentality Praha said Krishna Arjuna Vrikodaran to Krishna, Arjuna, and Bhima. Hey Vipra, O learned Brahmanas, Vriyatam, let it be chosen. Kamaha, what you desire. Dadami, I will give. Atma, my own. Siraha, head. Api, even. Va, to you. Translation. Thus making up his mind, the generous Jarasandha addressed Krishna, Arjuna, and Bhima. O learned Brahmanas, choose whatever you wish. I will give it to you, even if it is my own head. So going forward to verse 30. I have a hard time with the italicized Sanskrit, so I'm just going to read the translations. The Supreme Lord said, O exalted king, give us battle in the form of a duel, if you think it fitting. We are princes and have come to beg a fight. We have no other request to make of you. So right away after Jarasandha says, choose whatever you wish, I will give it to you, even if it is my own head. So he has made a promise to give to them. That's his word. So right away, Krishna reveals who they are. They're not Brahmanas. We are princes and have come to beg a fight. We have no other request to make of you. So Jarasandha is now cornered. He already gave his word. And then Krishna continues, next verse. Over there is Bhima, son of Pritha, and this is his brother Arjuna. Know me to be their maternal cousin, Krishna, your enemy. Next verse, which is verse 30. And this one I'm going to struggle through the Sanskrit because I'm going to go over some of the Sanskrit. Evam avidito raja jahaso chahai smamagadaha aha chamarshito manda yudam tarhi dadamiva. Translation. Thus challenged, Magadharaj laughed out loud and contemptuously said, all right, you fools, I will give you a fight. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti comments that Jarasandha felt inner satisfaction because he thought that his enemies had been humiliated by having to dress like Brahmanas to approach him. Thus, the Acharya understands Jarasandha's mind as follows. O weak ones, forget the botheration of fighting. Why not just accept my head? By dressing yourselves as Brahmanas begging charity, you have made your heroism set like the sun. But if somehow you have not lost your courage, I will give you battle. The Acharya finally points out that the goddess of learning intends the phrase amarshito manda to read amarshito amanda. In other words, Lord Krishna and the Pandavas are amanda, never foolish, and that is why they chose the best tactic for doing away once and for all with the cruel Jarasandha. So in this verse 30, Jahasa means laughed and Uchai means out loud. So the basic sense is exactly, he laughed loudly. But the mood is not innocent laughter or healthy joy. The translation itself adds contemptuously. And the purport says Jarasandha felt inner satisfaction because he thought Krishna, Bhima, and Arjuna had humiliated themselves by coming dressed as Brahmins. So this is more like a loud, public, egoic laugh of scorn. He thinks, I am still the superior one here. And on the words cha amarshita, the synonym there gives intolerant, which is okay, but the Sanskrit translations include impatience, non-endurance, anger, wrath, jealous anger, indignation, and even sarcastic, angry laughter. And amarshita, extended form of it, is impatient, intolerant, unforgiving, angry, indignant, passionate, impetuous. So in this verse, the word amarshita means he is stung in his pride, unable to tolerate the challenge, or indignant. He laughs out loud, but underneath the laugh, he is irritated and provoked. Because, after all, these weren't three Brahmanas, these were three enemies, princes, Kshatriyas, disguised and fooling him, and he promised. and he's stuck in his promise, so he's kind of angry. He laughs, but he's really steaming on the inside. So first there's outward bravado, there's inward disturbance. False ego behaves like that. A proud person laughs at first, but the laughter is not peaceful. It is a cover for being challenged. Jarasandha cannot tolerate being confronted, especially by Krishna, whom he still refuses to recognize properly. In the next verses, he shows that blindness openly. He calls Krishna a coward, dismisses Arjuna as too weak, and thinks Bhima is merely his equal. So his loud laughter is immediately followed by offensive judgment and gross misreading of reality. In verse 27, the first verse, Jarasandha shows a real Kshatriya quality. He is prepared to give even his head in charity. In 28, Krishna asks for a duel. In 29, Krishna openly identifies himself and the others. Then in 30, Jarasandha laughs loudly and answers with contempt. So he is not all bad villain. He has some nobility, some generosity, and some courage. But because he lacks surrender, those good qualities become contaminated by pride and hostility to Bhagavan. Material qualifications without devotion are unstable and can turn demoniac or against God. So material qualifications are only so good. It is devotion to God which makes everything become righted in life. In the purport, Vishwanath Chakravarti notes that the phrase can be read as Amarshito Manda, which translates as, angered, he said, "O fools." But as a Marshito Amanda, which it can also be because of the O, it means differently. It means that Krishna and the Pandavas are not fools. Indeed, it means they're never foolish. In other words, Jarasandha thought he was mocking them, but actually they had chosen the perfect strategy to destroy him. The proud man thinks he's the clever one, but he is already being led to his defeat by Krishna's intelligence. So, in the Sanskrit in this verse, Vyasadeva has demonstrated what is going on between the Pandavas, Krishna, and Jarasandha, which is a challenge, and on Jarasandha's part, a misunderstanding of what he faces. So he says, Amarshita Manda, oh, you fools. But the Sanskrit is such that it can mean, oh, you who are never foolish. So by Sanskrit trick, Vyasadeva has shown what is really going on. So to summarize, Jarasandha's loud, contemptuous, ego-driven laughter, Amarshita, shows that underneath the laughter he is inwardly stung, intolerant, and unable to bear the challenge. This is the psychology of false ego. Outward superiority, inward agitation. Because he cannot see Krishna as Bhagavan, he mistakes the all-powerful Lord for an ordinary enemy and walks confidently toward his own destruction. Always, when we're in false ego, not seeing everything in God, seeing everything as the field for our enjoyment, ourselves as the enjoyer, naturally we are frustrated a lot because nature does not always go with our desires and plans. In fact, it rarely does. So, although we show, I am fine, I am good, I am happy, in all publications, in all media, everyone is they're all smiles. It's always when a camera comes out, it's smile, like as if we're in the spiritual world, as if we're liberated and we're eternal and everything is fine. But it's not fine. It's not fine for people. People smile. They greet you and they smile. But actually, if they acted out their real inner feelings, they would be gruff. Because they are frustrated. Because Bhagavan, God, is in control of everything. Actually, everything is in God. It comes from his energy. Everything. There's not a thing separate from Krishna. Nothing. So, frustrated is us. Frustrated is the false ego. But when one is in real ego, I am seeing myself as a devotee, and everything belongs to Krishna, and I am simply putting everything in its place to serve Krishna nicely. I use everything for Krishna. I see everything as Krishna's. Then, in that real ego, one can be happy because they are situated in truth and they are acting in harmony with what is. So false ego leads you into believing things that are not true. It gives us pride. It's automatic. Pride means puffed up about yourself. And false ego promotes that by making you think you have something together, where the fact is that at any moment something major can happen to you, which cripples you or kills you or ruins your body in some way, thus ruining your life, ruining your pride and your false ego. It can happen at any moment. A car accident can happen on any day, which ends you or cripples you, or something could fall on you and does the same. My housemate is a chiropractor, and she has nothing but clients to whom some misfortune has occurred. Many are car crash victims. Others are other types of accidents. Many of them are young and now destroyed for life in some way. It is sad. She tells me about them every day. She says, today I met with so-and-so, and they had at work a bunch of stuff fall on them. Now they can't lift their right arm more than this, and they have to hold it like this all the time, and they're only 34. And I'm like, oh, brother. Something, he was fine, and then all of a sudden some things fell off a top shelf on him and broke his shoulder, and now it's messed up for life, and he's in pain. So he goes to a chiropractor, which is expensive, to try to alleviate the pain. That's the material world. And these negative things are impetuses for us to harmonize and seek the deeper truth. That's all they are. They are impetuses for us to seek a deeper truth that satisfies us as souls, that makes us peaceful as a soul. The wise man realizes that these things could happen to him at any moment. We are utterly dependent on the Lord's goodwill and mercy for our lives to be ongoing in a good way. We should not assume it will always be so. We should prepare for the worst, which is accident, old age, disease, death, these things happening to a loved one. At any moment, we could die from an aneurysm, a heart attack, or suffer some malady that just comes all of a sudden. We cannot be sure we will be breathing in 5 minutes. We can never be sure. Only a fool laughs confidently ever. The wise person is ever vigilant against assuming all is well. I heard a quote from Prabhupada where he said, If you want to be spiritual, always think that some disaster is coming. And that's very pragmatic. It's true. It's actually fully true. They are always coming. And that does make us want to be spiritual, deeper than the body. Many of us in this congregation are well on our way with aging. Anything could happen any time now. And another wise thing to know is that there is only Krishna. God is all that exists. He then expands into many forms as regulators, expansions of himself, and then expansions as demigods, and then as humans. But the point is, he alone expands. He's the source of everything. Everything is dependent upon him. There is nothing that did not come from him. You are literally in his plan, in his wish, his will, his idea, his eventuality, his plan. You will go the way as he planned. So it is comforting in one sense. You can know that you are in him, in his plans, under his care, always. So eventually, everything will be fine. He might take us through some tribulations to make us deeper, but we are in his hand always. And since we are devotees, we have come very far. As the New Agers say, we are old souls. We have come very far. We are very elevated in relationship to what is possible in this material world. We are in the top 1%. We are in Krishna's hand. He cares about his devotees. Although he cares about everyone, he really cares about his devotees closely. And it won't be long until we are with him if we stick, which we will. And he has said that for those who are devoted to him, who love him, he is captivated by that love, and he takes care of such devotees. The trick is not to deviate. To deviate is to come under the sway of the illusory energy. This Mayic external energy has that ability to cover us, make us think we are independent, fine, not needy, that we are individuals, well-situated, safe, virile, powerful, etc., which are all illusions. One aspect of chanting Hare Krishna is that it tells us we are dependent upon Krishna. It reminds us that we are small souls in bodies. As soon as you chant, you're reminded of these truths. You're in a temporary situation and dependent upon him, needy of his mercy. The holy name reminds us of our real situation. We are small souls who went astray, got placed into this world where we stray and try to enjoy, and we can come back to him. This world does both of those functions. It allows you to try to fulfill your desires while having an illusory identity, or it allows you to progress in bhakti. With Maya Devi's blessings, we can progress in bhakti. She's actually happy deep inside that we are progressing in bhakti, but it is her duty to challenge us. It is her way to challenge us, to present us with allurements, to lead us back to Mayic mentality. And all things vibrate with where they are at. All things vibrate, and those vibrations represent what that thing or person is, or where it's at, what it's about, what is its potency, its potential, its status, its consciousness, its awareness. All these types of things, these attributes, are in the vibration of the thing. Deities, for example, being formed based on revealed, witnessed divine form, being made literally by someone, to represent the divine, installed by rites that are in the scriptures that are revealed, installed as the divine, worshipped as the divine, it thus gives off the energy of the divine. It vibrates as the divine. People vibrate based on where they are at. This is why we try to find a pure devotee, take shelter of them, and learn from them, serve them. It's because a pure devotee gives off a divine vibration, is always situated in that divine consciousness, literally is manifesting it in every way around themselves, and can thus purify the space and persons around themselves by their presence. This is why the Ritvik path is wrong, because one needs a living, pure devotee to be purified by, to come into contact with while living, and be challenged by them perhaps, purified by them, by their presence, instructed by them, see them, revel in their energies, revel in their ways, their vibration, all while living. And also we get in line behind great souls who are between us and Krishna, all the way up to the residents of eternal Vrindavan. We do not directly serve Krishna. Over and over, that is stated to not be the way, not right. But rather, we are servants of the servants. We are servants of gurus, of acharyas, of higher devotees always. Servants of senior devotees. That is the way. We rejoice in the prospect and reality of a senior devotee in our lives, for they are someone we can rightly serve and please Krishna that way. That is the way. We should seek and be happy that there are senior devotees around and on earth, perhaps often in India and often in Indian bodies, but there are also senior Western devotees. All senior devotees are a joy to us because we can serve them and be rightly situated doing so. That is our eternal religion. We say Sanatan Dharma, which means eternal religion. But what is first and foremost? It is that we are jiva souls and that we are servants of the servants of the servants of Radha and Krishna. That is the fundamental truth of Sanatan Dharma. Actually, Krishna has a plan when and how you will be raised up to being his devotee. He expresses in various places that he knows the future, including the futures of his devotees, but of all souls too. But he doesn't like to stay in that consciousness of, I am God, and I know all these things, I am controlling all these things. He prefers to enjoy rasas in yoga maya, that is, tastes or mellows, relationships, while being in a type of illusion that is pure and divine. His play, his relationships with the residents of Vrindavan are based on this yoga maya, so-called illusion, divine illusion. It is more like accepting of forgetfulness that he is God and accepting to play with the love of his devotees for him in various mellows. He enjoys, thus, being a baby, a lover, a friend, a student, a brother, a cousin, a cowherd boy, a flute player, so many things, many tastes, many mellows, all of which are bereft of thoughts of his majesty as God Almighty. He relinquishes that control to his various expansions, Vishnu forms, for example, and demigod forms, allowing them to take over the control aspect over the creations and all living beings who reside therein. So once they are all created, which they are eternally created or over and over created, they are vested with powers and abilities that come from Krishna, that are really Krishna's powers and abilities. And thus they see to things, and he can forget. He himself, Swayam Bhagavan, the real center of Krishna, can forget about controlling the material world and go about playing in Vrindavan. Even though he expands many times there too, and each one has independent free will and is doing various loving activities with various devotees, but all of them are in a state of forgetfulness that he is Vishnu, that he is God. He doesn't like to come to that platform. He prefers Vrindavan. Vrindavan, where he tastes these mellows, is higher than Vaikuntha, higher than Aishvarya, worship God in awe and reverence. Just like in Western religions, which are really Eastern religions, but anyway, in Davidic religions which rule over the Middle East and the West, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, there is a sense that God is the Almighty seated on a throne in heaven. That is like Vishnu. That is Aishvarya. And that is something they're trapped in. All of those servants of those religions are trapped in seeing God as the Almighty man on the throne. They don't have a conception of playing with him, of being his parent, or being his lover, or that he likes to play the flute, or that he likes to be beautiful and be decorated, wear flower garlands. They have none of that. They have only Aishvarya. So it was really freeing for me when I discovered Krishna. I recognized him right away, and then I learned from the devotees all about him, and I learned all about how beautiful he is, like Radha Golokananda, how beautiful they are when we greet them in the morning. They are dressed so wonderfully, they wear flowers, they look splendid. And if Krishna became moving, if Golokananda started to move and stepped down off the altar and came into the temple room and grew taller and showed his real form to us, it would be so beautiful, we would faint. Krishna is so beautiful, it can barely be stood. You can barely stand around it. He's so beautiful. Just his skin is such that you're amazed by it. So, Krishna enjoys Vrindavan, the higher aspect of being God, more than he enjoys the lower aspect of being God. So we are very fortunate that we have this conception. What time is it? 5 minutes. Also, take Mahaprabhu, for example. Many times when his great devotees are talking to him intimately, they say things like, "I will do what you make me to do," or "I am saying what you made me to say," acknowledging that Mahaprabhu is Krishna and thus is in control, the creator, the designer of everything, ultimately, through his various expansions. But then they agree to participate with Mahaprabhu in his Leela, which is play, which is a pastime, which is in Yoga Maya for Mahaprabhu. He's ignoring that he's God, so that he can experience being in love with himself as a devotee, so that he can experience Radha's mood and experiences. This is scientific and makes sense on a scientific level. God's science, Bhagavan's science, that God, we know that God is the center. That's a scientific point. God is the center of creation. And God first expands as his Hladini Shakti. It's scientific, as his pleasure potency. as another person who is totally enjoyable back to him. And then later, he becomes a devotee of himself and his Hladini Shakti Radha to experience her mood of loving him, of serving him, of experiencing love for him. It's actually scientific. Our philosophy makes sense even in a scientific way, Sankhya Yoga. Yes, even seeing that God is the supreme enjoyer is also a scientific point. God science. God science. It's a scientific point. Of course God is the supreme enjoyer. He's in control of everything, so he does everything for his benefit. He is always enjoying what he creates, what he manifests. He manifests what he likes, not what he doesn't like. So he's the supreme enjoyer. That's a God science point. It's not just like a belief that has no basis in any logic. So that's all the notes I have. So are there any questions or points, or does anybody want to say anything?
Yeah, I'd like to say when one realizes the endless possibilities for pure love of Krishna, then one is happy and grateful. And then it's very easy to have a nice mood.
It's very easy to have a nice what?
A nice mood, a nice disposition, and smile. And gratitude, acknowledging the magnitude of these blessings.
Yeah, we especially...
It's not like the materialistic smile. It's like the smile altogether.
Rudrani says that when one is a pure devotee, one can experience real happiness and joy and really smile because they are so aligned with the truth, with Krishna. And of course, we had that experience, or some had that experience, in Srila Prabhupada very clearly. He was transcendental to the mundane. He was always situated in some sort of consciousness, which was, it was hard to deny that it was joyful, that it was over and above Maya, somehow floated above Maya. He dealt with all things as if they belonged to Krishna. And so he was able to engage thousands of people in hundreds of temples doing big projects, you know, and he was just orchestrating it like as if it was no big deal. And always able to, at any moment, crack into a joyful smile or a joke or a pun or something, or wisdom, show immense wisdom and wits. He really showed transcendental being.
But don't you think that there are some devotees who may not be as pure as Prabhupada who can enter into those kind of states, joyful, happy, even though they may not be totally pure?
Just as says there must be devotees who are not perhaps as pure as Srila Prabhupada, but still able to enter into joyous states and other types of enjoyments that come from Krishna consciousness. And I think, personally, yes. I think very much so that even a neophyte on his way, making progress, might experience, now and then, might experience real bliss, or might manifest real wisdom or joy. I think these things do come to us. They come to me in some small measure. I experience results from this path that are obvious to me, that are not material, that are related to being Krishna conscious. And I think there's devotees who are closer to being pure, to being really great devotees. But they may not be quite there yet, but they're closer. And they manifest so many good qualities, so many good vibrations for others to latch on to. You know, And there's devotees who have bhakti gyan, they share that, and others latch onto it. There's devotees who have a mood that others can latch onto. And so I think there are various manifestations of the results of bhakti in all the devotees. Jai.
That's something we can look for, it's something that keeps us going.
Absolutely, it's something that keeps us going. Absolutely, absolutely. Jai. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you.
I like how you have everything really down. And the contrast between the hell of material life and spiritual life.
Yes,
Very nice summary on a professional life.
thank you.
I had a question for you, maybe I can talk to you afterwards.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvantam Aravindanalaya Taksham Bharavatam Samansitam Buddhasundaranam Kandar Agom Vikamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Andani Yasa Sakalem Priya Priti Manti Lasyan Dipan Dikayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam
Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohan. Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Kunda Kunda Giri Govardhan Kalindi Jamuna Jaya Jaya Mahavan Keshigata Bamshi Bhata Duada Shakana Jasabalila Koilo Shri Nanda Nandan Shri Nanda Shri Nanda Jasoda Jaya Jaya Gopagan Shri Damadi Jaya Jaya Denuvatsagan Jaya Vrishabhana Jaya Kirti Dasundari Vrishabhana Kirti Dasundari Jaya Purnamasi Jaya Nagari Purnamasi Jaya Virna Jaya Jaya Gopishwara Vrindavanama Jaya Jaya Krishna Sakha Bhakti Dvijarat Jaya Ramagata Jaya Rohini Nandan Jaya Jaya Vrindavana Basi Jata Jan Jaya Dvija Padni Jaya Naga Kanyagan Bhakti te jahara pailo Govinda charan. Shirasa mandala jaya Jaya Radha Shyam. Jaya Jaya Rasa Leela Sarva Manoram. Jaya Jaya Jwala Rasa Sarva Rasa Sar. Tarakiya Bhave Jaha Brajete Prachar. Shri Janava Pada Padma Toriya Smaran. Dina Krishna Dasa Koe Nama Sankirtan. Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan. Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan. Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohan. Vrinda Gopinatha Madana Mohan. Jaya Radha Golokananda Jaya Radha Shyam. Radha Golokananda Jaya Radha Shyam. Jaya Radha Golokananda Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Shri Radhe. Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Shri Radhe. Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya glories to Radha Krishna and the divine forest of Vrindavan. All glories to the three presiding deities of Vrindavan, Sri Govinda, Gopinath, and Madan Mohan. All glories to Shama Kunda, Radha Kunda, Giri. All glories to the great forest known as Mahavan.
And the forest of Raj. At these places, the son of Nanda, Sri Krishna,
performed all of his pastimes. All glories to Krishna's divine father and mother, Nanda and Yasoda. All glories to the cowherd boys, headed by Sridham. All glories to the cows and calves of Vraja. All glories to Radha's divine father and mother, Vrishabhanu and the beautiful Kirtida. All glories to Purnamasi, the mother of Sandipani Muni. All glories to the young cowherd maidens of Vraja. All glories to Gopishwara Shiva, who resides in Vrindavan in order to protect the holy Dham. All glories to Krishna's funny Brahmana friend Madhu Mangala. All glories to Ramagata, where Lord Balaram performed his rasa dance. All glories to Lord Balaram, the son of Rohini. All glories to all the residents of Vrindavan. All glories to the wives of the proud Vedic Brahmanas. All glories to the wives of the Kaliya serpent. Through pure devotion, they all obtained the lotus feet of Lord Govinda. All glories to the place where the rasa dance of Sri Krishna was performed. All glories to Radha and Shyam. All glories to the divine rasa dance, which is the most beautiful of all Lord Krishna's pastimes. All glories to the mellow conjugal love, which is the most
excellent of all rasas, and is propagated in Raj by Sri Krishna in the form of the divine Parati Maha. Remembering lotus feet of Lord Krishna and his consort, Sri Janama Devi, Krishna's faithful and holy servant Krishna sings the Sankirtan of holy names.
Shri Chaitodarpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairavya Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipanam Purnamrita Swaranam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahudan Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita Niyamita Smaranena Kala Etadrishita Vakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishami Hajjani Nanuraga Trinadapi Sunichena Charorapi Suhishuna Amani Namana Dana Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Vajagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmani Ish